So you quit drinking, quit taking anything, you got completely sober, no drugs, no alcohol, no pills, no anything like that, and you're still having symptoms, you're still having chronic pain, you're still having anxiety. Well, let me help you out because I was in the same boat. I'm the Unconscious Knot, and this is the channel where I like to talk about my recovery from ankylosing spondylitis, my recovery from chronic pain, back pain, hip pain, knee pain, all that stuff, panic attacks daily, anxiety, IBS, you name it. I loved my symptoms. I was in love with being ill. But now I'm not. I'm in love with feeling good. So I'm going to teach you a little about what I did to... this is what I like to do on the channel, is teach you what I did. I did a myriad of things. First of all, this one is about getting sober. So all my 20s, late teens, drinking. The culture says you got to drink. And I drank until my 27, about 10 years straight. And... I used it to mask my anxiety, used it to mask some pain, used it to do this and that. And I finally said, oh my God, I got to quit drinking. I got to get clean. I got to stop using anything. And I did. And at first, it's tough. It's rough. The first few months of detoxing, yeah, you're going to really want it. But then you get into, I feel a little better. But, wait, I still have anxiety. I still have this and that. I had that until I was 35. That was 6 years ago, until I realized, quitting drinking didn't do anything. I still have crippling anxiety. And everybody says, it's going to help so much. And I still have pain, and I still have all these things, and I'm still in a bad headspace. And that was the key. My drinking was masking the symptoms. It was masking what I was hiding from. And now, my symptoms actually got worse when I quit drinking. Why was that? It's because I needed something else to mask what I was hiding from. I was hiding from myself, my unconscious, my feelings of inadequacy, my feelings of I am not enough. And I was hiding from that with drinking, and now I didn't have anything, so my body's going to create pain and these things to distract me from my real self, to distract me from these things I don't want to face, don't want to let go. And I've been hiding and pushing down since I was a little child. And I didn't really want to deal with these things. So that's why it got worse. It was so counterintuitive until I really started to change the way I thought and really started doing meditations, Joe Dispenza's meditation, and really being mindful and start having positive affirmations and reading Sarno and letting go a little bit, David Hawkins, and getting all these things started clicking, and then the anxiety went away. The anxiety would never go away if I didn't put in the work of changing my thought patterns that I had written in my psyche, in my brain. And really, it's no work at all because I put them there in the first place. I changed. Everybody's programmed to be this blank, this not even blank slate, to be this pure form of goodness, and you can feel it like when you're in your natural, calm, childlike state. It's just a good feeling of healing and recovery and just not the opposite of anxiety, calmness. And you slowly program yourself. And I programmed myself so much, so then you had to deprogram. And we've talked about this before. You got to deprogram. So the alcohol, I was so hoping that, I'm going to quit the drink. My problems are all because I'm drinking. No, that was just drinking was just another mask, another Band-Aid. And then when I didn't have drinking, then what do I have? Well, my body needs to create more pain. My pain and inflammation got worse because I was more conscious. Because in the past, I would be numb and I wouldn't have to deal with these thoughts as much. So I was just harming my body, destroying my liver with these drinks and whatever else, smoking. And now I was healing my body that way, but now I have so much free energy in my mind because I'm sober and not drinking and clean. I was just using that energy to be more negative. So I made the symptoms even worse. I became more neurotic. I became more panic, and I thought it was side effects from the years of drinking. I was like, this is a side effect. True, if you take a benzo, or you take a benzo being like Xanax or something, or Klonopin, Valium, you have to detox. Those are brutal because I've taken those in the past, and those take months and years even to detox. That's a whole different subject. True, you're going to have a detox period. And I encourage everyone to get clean because you cannot do this work without being sober. I should have said that right away. I'm not encouraging like drunkenness or anything. No, you absolutely have to be clean to get your mind in the right place. Because if you're intoxicated or in a different state or inebriated, you'll never be able to do the mental work to fix yourself. You'll never be able to do the inner work without being completely clear-headed and being your true self. So first you got to kick it. Get through the symptoms. Get through the symptoms first of detoxing. If you're struggling with addiction or something, first get clean. Don't worry about your head. Just get clean first. However long that takes. That's your first goal. Let everything else go. Say, I'm going to have this, whatever. I'm going to have some hip pain. I'm going to have some migraine. Whatever, it's going to happen. I'm not dealing with my autoimmune right now. That's fine. I can take drugs. I can go to the doctor for that. But right now, I am detoxing from the drugs. And once you get detoxed completely, however long that takes, some things only take a few weeks. Some takes months. Be kind to yourself. Be gracious to yourself. And then after that, once you're completely clean and clear-headed, I'm talking quitting caffeine. I'm talking quitting everything. I'm saying everything, all your vices. Get rid of every drug. Once you're clean, then you can start the spiritual work. Then you can start the inner work. Because I didn't do that. I got clean and did all that work, and then I didn't do the inner work. And I was just a mess, and I couldn't figure out why. Why is everything worse? Oh, maybe it's just the way I'm wired. I had an excuse. I'm just wired this way. I'm just wired to where I just can't be calm. I just can't be calm. I just can't calm down. I'm just always going to have this pain. It's genetic. It's genetic. Woe is me. I have a story. I better think about it. I better think about the hip. I thought about my hip constantly. In the shower, thinking about my hip. Before I went to bed, I thought about my hip. Before I got out of my bed, the first thing I thought about in the morning was, oh, how much is it going to hurt today? Oh, I hope it doesn't hurt much. Now I get out of my bed, and you don't think about it at all. You have to get in that mindset. While you are in pain, you have to not care. When you get out of your bed in the middle of the night to use the restroom, you have to not be thinking, oh, is it going to hurt? Am I going to be sore here? And of course, I say hip. I'm talking about anything. Whatever your hang up is. Whatever your body's distracting you with. Because really, your mind needs to be thinking about, is going to occupy itself with something. And if you're not occupying it with something healthy, like goals, dreams, if you don't have something healthy you're putting in, if you're not excited about the world, you will create something to get excited about. And it only makes symptoms worse. You're not getting deep sleep. You're not getting good rest. You're not having positive reinforcement. You're setting your unconscious up just to be a spiral. That's why alone stopping the substances isn't going to change who you are. You're still going to be that person right before you started. So why'd you start the substance in the first place? That's who you're going to be right when you quit. So I was 17 when I really started drinking a lot. That means I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know anything. So when I stopped drinking, I go revert to that stage because I really didn't develop past that. And that's kind of tough because now you're an adult and you wasted 10 years. Not wasted, you learned. Who cares? You can't look at anything wasted. You could be 70 years old, 80, 90. It's never too late because you just have the present moment. You have to look at every day as your possible, I mean, it's cliche, but it could be your possible last second, last minute. This could be my last minute. Because once you look at it like that, everything's not in the future, everything's not in the past. You stop worrying about this and that, and you just start to enjoy yourself. If you only had one day left, what would you do? I bet you wouldn't worry about your hip pain. I bet you'd let it go. Somebody said you have one day left. Actually, some people would just sit there and worry. You have one day left. Oh, I'm going to spend my day worrying. No, you'd sit out and you'd sit outside and you'd be with loved ones, and that's what you do. Or you do exactly what you want to do. You'd let go. You'd really let go. Or if there's a meteor going to hit the earth and destroy everything in a few weeks, I think everybody would let go a little bit. I think you'd see the prevalence of back pain really go down because people would really accidentally implement these strategies because they'd say, well, it doesn't really matter anymore because half the time you're scared of your back pain. You're just saying, oh, I'm going to be like this in 2 years. I'm going to be like this in 3 years. I'm never going to get rid of this. And if somebody said there's something coming to destroy the earth, you would say, it doesn't really matter if I'm going to be like this in 3 years, so might as well let it go. Guess what? You've been running around. Last thing, they had this really, in one of the Sarno books, I forget what it was, they had they recreated a 1950s style village, and they invited these elderly people in, and they all had knee problems, hip problems, and they were there for the week, and everything was set up just like the 50s. And they reported after they spent the week there, everybody reported less pain, everybody reported less, all their symptoms, arthritis, whatever was ailing them. They looked younger. It's because they put themselves in a mind frame of, I'm not old, I'm young. They felt like, I am back there, and their body literally signaled that said, oh, you're fine, you're feeling young, we're feeling young. So I wish I had more specifics about it. It's in one of the Sarno books. Drop me a line if you want to know which page, because I'll look it up later. But that's just an example. When you put yourself in that situation of, oh, I am young, you got to create that in your mind. Nobody's going to create an artificial 1950s village for you. You have to create it for yourself. That's the key. You have to create the placebo in yourself. You are creating your reality. You have to feel like you genuinely are young. You are healthy, because you are. And once you accept those things and say, oh, this is the prime of my life, no matter what age you are in the prime of your life. It all comes together. All right, talk to you later.